Hi love, how is it going? So I know we're living in some interesting times right now where having our first date over Zoom is actually not that abnormal. It is becoming our new normal, and I am so pro virtual dates right now. I think it's like, it could be like the new thing, right? That instead of you actually going on the first date in person, you can meet them online and like have that first interaction to see if there is like, if you really want to progress in this relationship. So I think this is such a great idea, and this is like the best time to do it. You won't seem like this weird person who just doesn't want to meet a stranger somewhere, right? It's a safe place. You can do it on your couch. It's great. I love it. So anyway, I wanted to give you some do's and don'ts of having your first date over Zoom, because even though this may sound like a casual date, it is still a date. So I wanted to give you these tips so you're ready for your next Zoom date. Hi and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, please make sure that you subscribe and you hit the bell so you get notified when I post a video every Monday. I'm Lylian and I help single women fall in love with themselves so that they can attract their dream guy. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so the first thing that you have to keep in mind is that regardless of you being at home and him being at home, you still have to have a set time for this date. So give yourself an hour to 2 hours to get to know this person on this first date, but don't let yourself get carried on for like hours and hours with this new friend that you are just meeting for the first time. It's going to create an idea in his mind that you have really nothing else going on with your life, and you absolutely do. Even though we are all at home, there are still things that we need to be focusing on, right? Like our health, so exercise, eating healthy, like all of those things, you still have that going on. Plus, if you are working from home, then you still have your job, right? So the last thing you want him to think is that you have nothing going on for yourself. So set yourself a time, and it's also a way of creating a healthy boundary from the get-go, right? So you're starting to create this healthy boundary that you have. This is the time that I'll give you. You don't have to obviously spell it out for him. You don't have to say it. You just have to, at the end of the 1 hour or two, you say, well, it was great meeting you, or whatever, right? And I actually have to go and, do my dinner or do whatever else that you need to do or that you have to focus on. So give yourself a time frame for this date. If you're doing a virtual coffee date, make sure that you make the coffee beforehand, before you actually have the Zoom call, because you're seeing that person. You want to be fully present in that moment. And so to really give that gift of presence, then you can be doing other stuff while you're on this call, right? So anything else that you were planning on doing while you're with this person, don't do that. Like, be fully present there, right? Like, don't be texting your friends while you're having this date. Like, concentrate on the time that you have with him and respect the time that you have together. Comment below if you have been on a virtual date or you're thinking about it. Okay, so next, I know the title is all about Zoom and having a date over Zoom, but you can actually have this virtual date over Messenger on Facebook, or even a virtual date over Instagram, or if you both have iPhones, you can do the FaceTime, and there's other tools. But Zoom is great. Like, one thing I really like about Zoom is that you can change your backgrounds, which is really cool, because you can have like different backgrounds, and that could be like an icebreaker, right? It's something like to start a conversation of like, oh, this is where where I want to go. I think they have like backgrounds of like places, but you can I think you can upload also like a background that you like, that you can just download and use it as your background. And so that could be like a great idea of like, okay, so like this is where I would want to be, where I would want to travel, once this whole COVID-19 thing is over, or I wish this is where I would want to be if this wasn't happening right now. I would be traveling here. Like, it's just an icebreaker, and I think it's such a great tool to use, and I've had some fun with it. So yeah, try it out and see what you think. Okay, next, create some questions that you would like to ask, or look them up. This is going to help you in having something more to talk about other than COVID-19. right? Because the conversations right now are all about it. But if you want to like get to know this person, maybe ask him how he's spending his time right now. Maybe there's some creative things that he's doing that may, you know, create a conversation. You guys can create a conversation around that, right? Or like I said before, you can ask him questions as to where he's going on a trip once this is all over, right? Does he have like something planned, or is he thinking about it? Create interesting questions that will make you stand out, right? He's going to feel like you actually care, that you're actually interested in him, and that is going to create a great connection between the two of you. Even though you're just having like a virtual date and you actually are not in person, it will create a nice bond between the two of you. So that's a really good tip that I learned, and my sister did it, and she said it really made a difference in the conversations that she had with potential guys that she wanted to date. Okay, so at the end of the date, if you do decide to have a second date and second virtual date, or maybe this thing is over and you guys actually get to meet each other, make sure that it is a few days after this first date, because like I said in my first tip, don't make it seem as if you have nothing going on for yourself. Allow some time also to evaluate, to really think, you know, about it, and to really see if this is, you know, someone that you could potentially get into a relationship with. So I would strongly suggest that you don't make this date for like the next day, because then it just seems like you have, you know, you're not doing anything with your life, which you should be. You should have lots of things going on. At this moment, we have this extra time to really focus on ourselves. And if you are interested, I have actually a video on the traits of a high value woman. I'll put the link below so you guys actually check that one out. And it just gives you an idea of, you know, how men see you and what are the traits that actually, you know, make him see you as this high value woman. And one of them is actually you having your own life and you having things going on that are, you know, that you're passionate about. And so make sure that you do give yourself some time in between these dates. Okay, and my last tip is don't forget to have fun, right? This is about creating connections and really getting to know another person out there that may become this one special guy in your life. So, and thank goodness for technology. Can you imagine this, like, you know, 20 years ago? How would we actually, like, you know, be able to connect with each other? So this is a great way of doing it. It's a safe way of connecting with someone else. And like I said before, you can connect, you know, you can have your virtual dates not only in Zoom but in other platforms that you can use. But I love Zoom because it's just like a nice way of like getting yourself like you put it on your calendar, it's set there, and then you join the date, and it's just, I don't know, I really enjoy Zoom and I use it for my own business with my clients, and I am now using it with all my friends and family. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you're interested in more tips on, you know, dating advice and relationships, make sure that you're following me on Instagram at Lylian Toscano. Okay, so now you know the do's and don'ts of having your first date over Zoom. And if this relationship plans out and we still have this COVID issue, which I think is going to be for a couple weeks now, or I don't know, maybe months, probably longer than that, you can actually like stay tuned, because my next video is going to be all about date night ideas that you can do while this is going on in the world, and you can do it at home in a safe place. So make sure you check out that video next week. If you like this video, please make sure that you like it below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and if you have other single friends out there, please share my videos. Okay, we'll talk soon. Bye, love.